So I just moved to the captions and graphics workspace right over here, and now we can begin by putting in the titles. So for my titles, I want to make some that shows the day of the week and then finally introduce the brand. So let's go into our nested clip and match the titles with the start of each video. I'm going to type Monday right here with this font. Adjust the size, I think light is better, and change the fill color. Once you're done with your text, click away and look for the linear wipe effect. Then go to Effect Controls down here. So in the Effect Controls, bring your playhead at the start of your text. Make a keyframe at the beginning with 100%. Then go halfway through your text and turn it to 0. So we're going to get something like this. Let me just disable the video. If you wanted to go faster, just change the space between the two keyframes. But when we play this back, it's going from the other way. To fix this, just change it from 90 degrees into 270 degrees. Now it's going to play from the right side. Now I have a nice typewriter effect for my text. Additionally, you can move this adjustment layer above your text so you get the noise on top of the font. Match the duration of this text to the video. Let's try to make this a little bigger. Additionally, I want to add some sort of edge effect to this. Just type edge here. Add the roughen edges effect on the text. Head to your effect controls and work with the complexity and scale. This will give us like a noisy edge, which is perfect for the style. So we want to repeat the keyframe at the end of the text. So once we see that it's Monday and we're about to move on to the next video, this just retreats back to the left side. Make a keyframe for 0% again, then go to the end of your video, end of your text actually, and turn it back to 100%. So if I hide my stuff again, we're going to get something like this. Let's work with the position. And that's pretty good. So we want to repeat this for all the other days. So we have like 3 videos, even though there's 5 weekdays. So I'm just going to like skip through the days. So that was Monday. Let's call this Wednesday. And the next one Friday. Just duplicate this text. And simply change the text from like Monday into something else. I'm going to disable all of my other videos because it's going to get a little bit laggy. So from Monday, I'm going to change it into Wednesday and the next one into Friday. Just check on the keyframes. So for this one, I think we need to stretch the time because it's a longer clip. So move these guys back. We're going to have Friday like this. So right here, when we go from the weekdays into the weekend, I want to put a transition text. If you just search vintage in the Adobe stock section, there's one right here. I'm going to put it underneath our adjustment layer. So it goes from Friday into this transition text, and then we go to the weekend. So I'm just going to work with the animations. I don't need everything. I'm going to type in like the weekend and remove the second line. There are some options here like the size of your text, the spacing and all of that. But I'm just going to leave mine as it is. If you want to get rid of the transition at the start, just move forward until it's settled. Cut it from that point, get rid of that first bit, and use the second half. All right. I have some sound effects for the text as well, because we have like a typewriter effect and also this like vintage screen. So in your resource pack, there's some stuff. So let's start with the typewriter. Go to your first text, add this right underneath, and just match the beat with the actual text. I only need this much. Then repeat this for the rest of the text. This is Wednesday. Finally, we have Friday. Now let's grab all three of these, go to the Essential Sound panel. Use the Make Distant preset, Light Reverb. Later on, we can come back and adjust it with the music. That's the sound effect for the first text. Secondly, we have this one, which I want to add like some sort of noise. Put it right underneath. Cut the extra bit. Then I have a transition sound, which is actually mouse clicks, but we're going to modify it. So I just need this small section. Set your in and out points. Get the audio. For this one, we're going to match the beginning of the audio with the start of this text. So first, we need to increase the volume. Grab the audio SFX, make close up, and then we're going to grab the pitch shifter effect and just lower the pitch. Next, I'm going to slow down this audio with 70%, maintain audio pitch. Then add an exponential fade transition at the end of this audio. So that's the text for the week events. When we go back, we should be able to hear everything. So I can see that my text is way too low. Command R or Control R in Windows and grab a ruler for where your text should be. Then go back in week events and just pull these guys up. And right where the transition happens, I want to get rid of these cinematic bars. So let's see where it is. Put your playhead right when the text shows up. Then go to Final. Make your cut. Then go back in here and just go for the end of this text. So right here, make a cut. And now in this middle section, we want to delete the crop effect. So when we get the transition text, there are no cinematic bars. Now finally, in the last scene, we're going to introduce our product. So right when she's about to drink her tea, you can use your own text, or just get one from Adobe stock. I'm gonna grab this bold title effect, get rid of the stuff I don't need, and position it right. Let's change this. We have a scale animation, which I don't want. Open this up, source text, and then introduce your brand. So I'm going to make mine sample T, and now this is what I get. I also brought this 100% natural logo, which will be in your resource pack. And I'm going to do a simple fade transition with opacity keyframes. So when I get sample T, I'm going to put this in the corner. Then we can just end the video and put Command D on both of these overlays. Just make sure that the cross dissolve of the text and the PNG happens faster than the video. So I have my text right here and I want to kind of skew it onto the window. Go to the Effects panel and look for the Transform effect. Add this onto your text. Effect Controls, then come down to this slider. If you increase it, you can just do this. There's also an option for the axis, so we can make it perfect for the window. So I used a collection of skew axis, and rotation to place my text inside the window. I will go with the color dodge blending mode and perhaps change the color of the actual text. So white is not doing it for me. I'm going to grab the eyedropper tool and select the lighter color of her sweater. Based off this, I can just change the blending mode. If you go in your text, there are some options for drop shadow. Additionally, you can use the corner pin effect. Just type it here, corner pin, and use these circles to define the corners of this window. I'm actually going to delete the transform since I got the corner pin. And now we can increase the scale of the text. I'm going to work with the drop shadow. Let's zoom right in. That little black thing is the drop shadow, which should be here. Just make sure that shadow is turned on. You can work with the distance, the size of these, and of course the feathering and opacity. I'm actually going to delete the old one so I can avoid redoing all of my settings. So let's go forward and change the text. All right, and then around here I'm going to introduce the logo. So So let's go to the project panel, grab the Gaussian blur effect, put it on top of your video, and then we're just gonna make a keyframe for 0%, push it back, then increase the blurriness until we cannot see the subject. And I'm gonna cut this before this blur transition. So your text should fade somewhere around here. And then we're supposed to get a blurred video. On this blurred video, we can add the logo, which I will just type in. Put it in the center. And we can maybe put this organic logo at the bottom. Extend the length, Command D, to fade out the logo. So we were able to use all that we learned so far and create this commercial. It was really simple to do, it just took a while to make. But making commercials like this is a great way to practice your skills within Premiere Pro because it forces you to use different concepts from color grading, transitions, text animations, and so much more. So come up with imaginary brands, write a concept for it, and then use what you learned to make a commercial for it. Always be sure to save these videos somewhere up for yourself so that later you can look back and see how far you've come along. Now we're done with the audio category. Let's move on to our next category, which concerns transitions.